Okay, so this was probably one of the best sunsets I've seen so far. Now, partly was down to having such a great sunset, but this was a planned shot. So I was thinking how I was going to make this video for you guys to make it entertaining and educational at the same time. As you guys really enjoyed the story-based video of how I lost my FPV drone, I thought, how do I create it for this video? I'm going to tell you how now. Shipwreck. Sun's gonna go down in about 20 minutes. So it's the beginning of October and I'm still in Cyprus, capturing the island with my Mini 2. After completing Ayanaba and Brodara, I started planning my next trip to Paphos. I already drafted my list, which started back in England, and I grouped each hotspot by city. I thought this would be the most efficient way to visit each location and fly. And petrol is expensive. Still relatively expensive to what I remember what it used to be. Now that I am in Cyprus, I can actually do much more thorough planning. And the way I did this was one through Google Maps. And I actually created my own My Map through Google. Basically list each hotspot and you can group them by city, you can color categorize them, you can number them. And this will give me a visual representation on where each place is geographically. That way I can group each place by distance and split my time over a few days instead of having to go all over the place. The reason why I don't fly everything in one day is, one, the amount of batteries I have for the DJI Mini 2. The lighting and time of day is important. There's only one sunset a day, there's only one sunrise a day, so you can't be physically in two locations to capture that moment, so you have to split that time up. Plus, it gives me time to enjoy each location than having to rush everywhere and not see anything properly. Now, after grouping each place, I actually decided which of those locations I would prefer to make for sunset. Now I was ready for my trip. First stop, Petra, which is the birthplace of Aphrodite. The worst thing about these swim shorts that I have, they have no pockets. I love the color, but no pockets. Anyway, Petra, we are here. I swear that rock used to be bigger. To Paphos. I just had a quick read of the story of how Aphrodite was supposedly born, because from the foam of the waves you're thinking, what? How does that happen? You know, sperm and the egg, there's got to be something like that. So I read, and the legend, as it says, has it where Gaia, the mother, asked one of her sons, Cronus, to mutate his father Uranus. I'm like, what the mutilate, I think the word was. And apparently he went and cut bollocks, and they, as he tried to fly away, his bollocks fell into the sea, which obviously like made the sea fertile, and that's how Aphrodite was born. I'll be honest, why do I know that story now? Like, before, I always knew it was like from the foam of the sea, but I didn't read it further into it. Anyway, that was interesting.
Now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Now, as Paphos is situated on the west coast, generally you're going to have better sunsets there. So I have 3 days now to capture 8 different locations, splitting my time with some in the morning and some in the afternoon. On my first day, it continues with an afternoon shot at Shipwreck of Demetrios II. So I'm going to fly the drone to capture the boat out there. And it's around 2,000 feet from this point. Obviously I can reach that, I have been that distance before, but with at least the wind is coming towards shore and not going away. That is the good thing here. direction. So if I come in the morning when the sun is behind, it will light up the ship. So that's what I'm going to plan to do, come before midday basically. But as the day continued, I went down to downtown Paphos harbour to capture the sunset. And obviously I moved to several locations within the harbour to capture the area. A great place to capture a sunset there is where the castle is. There's actually this cool little spot where everyone was hanging out with their cameras. I was probably the only one with a drone. So this is the first spot that I recommend if you ever visit Cyprus. Go to the old castle there to capture the sunset. Now, day 2 begins reshooting that shipwreck from yesterday. So it wasn't as windy either. So the weird thing is, it's not windy, it's wavy. I mean, look. There's no wind. Not windy at all. But doesn't explain the waves. Anyway, the sun is behind me today, or this morning, compared to afternoon, which was on that side, to now I can get better photos of the boat, and the photos came out much better. I mean, this is what I mean when lighting is important when flying a drone. After the shipwreck, I made my way back up to the mountains, not that far to be honest, but I went to Aphrodite Monastery. So here was a little tricky because you had to pay some respects to the nuns that do live in the monastery, and because of all the trees I had to find a spot close enough but with open space to be able to fly the drone. And because again, this was middle of the day, didn't really have much of a problem with lighting. And obviously there isn't much to shoot there. So I actually went round the corner to Dallas Amphitheatre and decided to shoot some there as well. So later that afternoon, my first drone shot was at Aphrodite harbour, which is this little harbour way past, all the way up the coast of Paphos. And it's really nice there. You have this little church, that huge rock. Later, I made my way down to Coral Bay to capture the sunset. So I'm currently at Coral Bay. Wait for the cars to go by. I used to come here in my teens to go out, and it was like a nice little strip. So the hotel over there, the Crown Resort, is now abandoned. And I was like, oh, that's a shame. So I'm driving to the next spot now so I can capture more of the strip. And then it occurred to me, if I had the Baby Hawk 2, honestly, it's actually perfect. Can you imagine? Because the hotel's empty, no one's there, I can practice FPV. But I don't have a drone. Maybe when I get my Gep RC, or if Emacs send me another one. For now, let's set the drone up. Now, depending how many batteries you have for your drone, I recommend going an hour before sunset. So you have light for the first battery, and later as the sun sets, capture the sun dipping behind the sea and capturing blue hour. Just note the Mini 2 is capable, but the Mini 3 would be better as it has better low light capabilities. Final day. So this is the day of when I captured that amazing sunset. So didn't really have anything in the morning. I was enjoying my time with my brother and my grandma. And then when the afternoon came, I had my gear ready to go, everything charged. The first stop was the sea caves. It might even be better than the sea caves at Ayanaba. So imagine having a house at this location. Just amazing. I just need a good spot to fly the drone. I could have flown up there where I parked the car, but if I'm here, then I have line of sight of what's going on. It's a tad windy, I don't know what's this side. Maybe I shouldn't go any further. Look at this. Jesus. That is where I was the other day. St. George's isn't far. Not bad. So I'm going to set up the drone and then we'll go flying. Alright, I'm going to pause this so I can do the compass calibration, and I've got to take the magnet off. After a couple of batteries capturing the sea caves, I could see my next destination from the drone. It's like 5 minutes down the road. So I left with ample of time. But there's so many noises right now. I can't believe what's going on. Can you hear this? Okay, got time. Oh, jeez. Let's continue. If you hear the dog, I'm sorry. So if you are gonna use your drone, well, whenever, whether it's sunset or during the day, to pick up some ND filters, as it does help cut the light. It's a bit like putting sunglasses on, plus it adds motion blur to your footage. So after arriving at the Edward III shipwreck, or Anyoro by the sea, which is the nearest bar, I found a quiet spot away from the crowds. Well, the rest speaks for itself. If this video is going to teach you anything about drone photography and videography, is that you should plan your shots ahead of time. Do a quick Google search on the location you want to capture, check the weather, and make sure you have ample of time to capture the sunset. You are against the clock, the sun is going down, and if you miss it, well, you're just going to have to come back the next day, but you can't guarantee the sunset will be the same. If you enjoyed today's story-based video, remember to give it a thumbs up. I have some more cool spots of Cyprus to show you guys, so subscribe so I can show you more of this beautiful island. If you're from Cyprus, let me know in the comment section down below your favorite spots. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Peace.